Good afternoon. This is Cracker's Crazy Living. It is Saturday afternoon, April 7th at almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Today I'm going to make for you Chewy Butterscotch brownies. This looks like a really easy mix and dump kind of a recipe. Bar cookie. I wanted to try to make something different. Go into a potluck tomorrow, so I'm taking a couple of different kinds of salads, which I'll be videotaping them tomorrow, and then a dessert. So I'm going to try these chewy butterscotch brownies. This is a recipe that I found on Pinterest, of course. I find a lot of my recipes on Pinterest. So this recipe calls for 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. It says unbleached, but I don't have that. And apparently it says all-purpose flour, bleached flour toughens the baked goods. I didn't really know that. Okay, so I don't have that, so I'm using all-purpose flour. Baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 3/4 cups of brown sugar packed, 1 cup of unsalted butter, softened 2 sticks. I always use salted butter. 2 large eggs, a tablespoon of vanilla, and 1 11-ounce package of butterscotch morsels divided, and a cup of pecans, chopped or broken. So what I have here is I have some pecans that I had just toasted in a dry pan. Are really good. And I'm just going to chop a bunch of them up. Maybe a little bit finer for some of these. Yeah, that's better. Maybe just a few more. Them under there. Oh, I see how that works. Yeah, that's pretty good. I got me this little handy dandy chopper. I used to have one of these when I was a young kid. It was a really old one. It belonged to either my mom, dad, or one of my grandmothers, or my great grandmothers. But it was ugly and so old that it was rusting out and not looking great. So I got this one from Walmart, and it's Pioneer Woman. I like her stuff. And it's just the same thing I used to use, this little slap chop. Because I just really didn't feel like dirtying up one of my speed choppers. You know? Sometimes there's just no need to dirty up another appliance. And frankly, I got tired of chopping them by hand. So I'm just going to put these other pecans in a Ziploc bag until later. They're good though. They're nice toasted. They're warm. They taste good. I don't need a cup of pecans for this recipe, so let's see how that is. I'm going to write on my bag toasted. Toasted, so I know I toasted those. And I'll keep that there for later on in the recipe. So we're going to start with mix the butter, brown sugar, baking powder, salt, and eggs, and vanilla with an electric mixer until smooth and creamy. So see, that's a pretty easy dump and mix. You mix this stuff first, then you add the flour and the morsels and the pecans. And then you just dump it into the pan, smooth it out, and bake it. It's really easy. Shouldn't take long to put together. And I bet it's really good. My husband loves butterscotch. I usually always make the butterscotch oatmeal cookies for him. But in recent days, I don't know if I need to find a new recipe for that. But in recent days, it just wasn't turning out very well. All right, so I need brown sugar, one and 3/4 cups of brown sugar, packed. One. Oops. Try not to spill it on the table. Always spilling stuff on the table. Messy cook, I'm a messy baker. Just a pinch more there. Okay. All right. Baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Eggs, 2 eggs. And I always crack my eggs into a separate bowl just to make sure I don't get shells in my egg or I don't get a rotten egg in the process. And vanilla. Tablespoon of vanilla. All right. Oh yeah. So nice and creamy. See how fluffy it is? It looks pretty good. Nice and fluffy. Measure out my morsels. I need 1 cup. Those are, they smell so good. Mm. Okay, add the flour. I'm going to add the flour first. So I'm going to pour my morsels into a different bowl. Thought I'd be smart and pre-measure those. All right, so on the flour, I need 2.5 cups. Two and a half cups. Come on. This thing don't want to snap. All right, and then the morsels. And then 1 cup of chopped pecans. I might not have chopped enough. I didn't. Thought for sure I chopped up the pecans. All right, let the pecans guys out and start chopping up some more. One cup chopped pecans. All right, so the recipe did say add the flour and one cup of butterscotch chips and the pecans and stir with a wooden spoon to combine. I did not do that. As you saw, I just gave it a zhuzh real quick in my mixer without over mixing it. I just kind of mixed it till it was all combined together. And that was it. Just kind of make sure it's all combined from the bottom. It is. All right. And then it says to spray your 9 by 13 inch pan. It does say glass baking dish. Spray it with ham, non-stick spray. I suppose if you wanted to spray it with some Baker's Joy, you probably could. I'm going to do ham spray on it. Then you're just going to spread it out in the dish till it's all even. Spread the mixture into prepared baking dish. Sprinkle with remaining butterscotch morsels on top. Bake at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes or until toothpick inserted comes out clean. Cool before cutting. I'm going to dump it in my pan. Looks really good. It smells good. I suppose if you like to put add-ons in your cookies or in your bars, you could probably put some dried fruit in these. I don't know what kind of fruit blends well with butterscotch. Maybe cranberries, raisins. Alright, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the offset spatula. And I'll just smooth it out. I wonder if I could just smooth it out with my hand. I use my hands for everything. Maybe I will. Just wash my hands pretty good. And I'm just going to take my hand. Oop, it's sticky. Maybe I'll use some Baker's Joy on my hand. And just spread it out like this. It doesn't seem to be working well for me at all, so I'll go back to the spatula. It's too sticky to do that with my hand. It's spreading out pretty well, so I'll just spread it. Some of these doughs, when you do this, they're too stiff and they're hard to spread. Well, that looks like it's spread out pretty good. Suppose if you like coconut, you could put coconut on top. spread these out. I want them to be even as I can get them so they bake evenly. Okay. Then I'm going to take the rest of the butterscotch morsels, sprinkle them over the top. Yeah, that's pretty even. I'm going to put them in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. That's what they look like. I'm going to attempt to put you on pause for that long. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I will give it a try. If I get kicked off, I will either come back for part 2, the results, or I will take a picture of what these look like, and I will then post it on the community tab on my YouTube page. That's where I put a lot of my photos of things that I've made and I've taken a picture of before I served it. So hopefully we'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, we're back. My phone did not kick me off. Imagine that. Brownies are done. They call them butterscotch brownies. They look like blondies, you know, same thing. But they look really good. It cooked 35 minutes. And then when I tested it with a toothpick, it came out clean. So they're just going to sit here on the table, cool down. When they get completely cooled, I'm going to go ahead and cut them into bars. And then we're going to eat one tomorrow at our potluck. So that's it for the butterscotch brownies. Thank you for joining me in Cracker's Crazy Living. If you have not yet subscribed to my page and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button below. Give me a like. Share me with your friends. If you have any questions or comments on this recipe, please comment me and I will do my best to answer your questions or comments. Thanks again for joining me in Cracker's Crazy Living. Until we meet up again next time with another recipe. Take care. Thanks. Bye.